All right. You know that music? It's Fat
All
Joe.
the way up.
All the way up. And that's
Right.
the only way the market can go right now. So welcome everyone. Andre with Mr. Gooden and the role of Mr. Gooden. We see the market, what's the latest stats, you name it.
Thank you very much, sir. All the way up is characteristics of a bull market, but we know that markets don't always go up. Case in point really is that in 2019, well, let's start from 2018 when the market was at 379,000 points. 2018, of course, we were the #1 stock exchange in the world at 2015 as well. In 2019, we soared to 509,000 points. Then came COVID.
Yeah.
End of 2020, the market closed at 395,000 points. That's a fall off of between 25% to 26% thereabouts. Then so far, up until June 2021, we have recovered some of that ground, and we are at 425,000 as at the end of June. At the half year, we had a growth of approximately 9% for the year. At June, we're still over 400,000, so we're still doing fairly well. Market capitalization
from the 395, right. From the 395.
Right.
So we're on the way up. We're on the way up.
Right.
Yeah.
So the market story is that, and it is factual and proven. Anybody who went into the market, who have a investment plan and went into the market as they normally would in January, February last year, March would have suffered a bit of a beating. Yeah. By April, there started to be a recovery. And in the between April 2020 and now, there have been significant movements in share prices. Some have gone up 20%, or some have gone up a lot more. So 2021 is really, despite what we're seeing around us, a recovery year. One thing to remember is that the market really is a barometer for the economy. So when you have fallout in the economy, either you get a same time reaction or a delayed reaction as the market reflects exactly what is happening in the economy.
I just spoke about the small rise. You look at that stock like Fesco that came new to the market at 80 cents, and they were last trading at $2 and I think 30 something cents. That's not a 10% or a 20% increase. That's mega.
That's a farm. Right.
That's mega.
And a company like that chose to come to the market in the middle of the pandemic, right? With some uncertainties out there, but they took a chance and come to the market, and their investors have supported them, and they've done very well so far. And there are other examples like that. In 2019, our market hit $1.9 trillion in capitalization. What that means is that the value of all the securities listed on the market was $1.9 trillion. In 2020, it went down to 1.5 trillion, which is a huge drop off. I think about 27% down.
Yeah.
Again, as of June 1, we have bypassed the high from 2019 of 1.929 trillion, and we're at 1.977 trillion. So
still all the way up.
That has been aided by new companies coming to the market in the middle of the pandemic, and they have done very well. So the moral of the story really is that stick to it. If you have an investment plan, stick to it, and it will happen. One other major thing I'd want to mention about resilience.
Sanjay, we will definitely save the live. All right? Yes, we will save it. Yes, Dre.
Right. So in 2019, we've had an online trading platform for some time. In 2019, we had $3.5 billion worth of activity. That's the value of all the trades that took place on our online platform, which is JTrader, which is available through all the major stockbrokers. Last year, boss, That's 3.5 billion in 2019. Last year, we did $8 billion, meaning that individuals pivoted during the crisis, and instead of doing their trades by going into contacting their brokers directly, they opened their J Traders accounts and did multiples of what you did in 2019. $8 billion. And
I'm smiling. I am smiling. You know what?
And up to June, so that's 8 billion for 2020. Up to June, we had $4.86 billion worth of activity, meaning that half year we're gone almost 5 billion. So we're going to do close to $10 billion in online trading this year.
At this run rate, you're going to exceed it.
At the current run rate, yes. And another statistic. In 2020, we added 25,000, really remarkable, new shareholders to the market, new investors, first-time investors, new accounts, 25,000 in 2020. As of June, we're at 15,383, which means we're quite likely going to bypass that 25,000 and get closer to 30,000 for 2021. So despite all what is going on, we are seeing growth and we are seeing activity that is unprecedented. And we'll soon come to why and how. So in between 20 and 21, let's say between March 2020, which was around when First Rock came to the market, and 2021 June, we have raised $45 billion on the market. The market is liquid. We have added nine new securities. 9 new companies have come to the market in 2021, and we have a couple more coming on. There's a IPO that just closed, and there's 1 and 2 others in the pipeline.
Well, so, let me get this right. Let me get this right, Mr. Gooden. Let me get this right. You are the development group manager for the JSE.
Group business development.
Under your watch, you are saying that since the pandemic, it is 45 billion of money on the capital market. The stock exchange runs the company.
That's correct, sir. 9 new securities.
9 new securities.
And that was up to June. We've had one since then, and we have the private market listings as well. That is over 10 billion. And year to date, we're growing at a rate of 9% per annum. So if we maintain this rate, we'll be at 9% for the year in growth.
Take it easy with me. Take it easy with me, because my head's scratching me. You see, when the pandemic hit, I say to the Money Matters family, don't run out of the stock market unless you check your broker. And it was deliberate. And tonight, I don't know if you can you see what is happening here?
That's a JSE statement.
Okay.
Check.
And can you see again what is happening?
Yes, we see what's happening.
Okay. No, I am enjoying some dividends. I could not show the level of dividend because we keep that part private, right? But when you can in this time see your equities holding going up and you're getting dividend payment, that is 2 critical factors why a person invests in the market. You get dividend and capital appreciation.
That's right.
All the way up, mail pack. Somebody want to know something about mail pack, but Andre is a regulator, Andre is a regulator. Oh, you're telling me what shares I'm looking at. Oh, thank you. Andre is a regulator, so he can't pick out shares and tell us what to buy in his capacity. Tonight we'd have to see it off the record, but he can't tell us. But he's there to make sure that these companies fit within regulatory framework. Submit their returns on time. Keep the public informed. Welcome, King Sam. As a matter of fact, I want to welcome the persons that joining us for the very first time. And the stock exchange is on the page for the very first time as the stock exchange. We have had them before, and it's a return. And we thank you. We have Mr. Andre Gooden with us. That walk us through some remarkable numbers. So the stock exchange not live up yet, but it is gone past the pandemic numbers. And as I said again, this is what you get. You get dividends when you invest and when you stay invested. Don't run from the market. Check your broker. I will say it again. Nine new listings, 9 new offerings in the market.
So far.
What are you doing to have so much confidence based in the market? Because for 9 new, it must take some amount of confidence. And so
it does, but it takes good direction and a visionary thinking by the leadership of the organizations in question and good advice from the brokers. So what I want to talk about here now, we're going to look at this thing 2 ways, Delroy. One from the point of view of the investor and one from the point of view of the issuer, which is the person trying to raise some money to do a business.
Okay.
Let's start with the person looking to raise money. Now, people are maybe online saying, you know, I have a small business, I employ 5 people. The market might not be for me as a place to raise money. Think about this. Lay out a plan for yourself and say, okay, in 5 years, I want to be generating. I'm generating $5 million a year in income now. By the end of year 3, I want to be generating, put a figure, 15 million. Yeah. Along the way, you work towards building your organization towards that, making more sophistication along the way. You add a quarterly accounts, you add a group financial controller, you add an internal auditor, you add a marketing manager as you go along, as the business starts to take shape. When you get to a certain point, your bankers will be ready to lend you money. But if you're looking to grow your business strategically, you need to think about patient capital, which is something that a word that we use a lot. In other words, you're attracting investors who are not looking to get back their money tomorrow or 3 years' time as a bank loan would. But you have patient capital that will grow as your business grows. So what you would require to come to the market. Let's start with the junior market. You
have a comment. You have a comment. When is the new stock market website expected to be officially launched and available to the public? You have an answer on that one?
Yes. I chair that committee. That's my committee. So, we will be launching in this first week in October, relaunching in the first week in October, in National Investor Education Week. Look out for that, Mr. Delroy. National Investor Education Week is the week when we'll be launching the new and improved website.
So Mitchell, you got your answer there in October. All right.
Right.
Yes.
So I soon come to all of the things that are going to be happening in the future. But I'm just saying, you're putting together a business and I wanted to tell you that there are companies that have come to the market as startups. They don't earn $1 yet, but they have come to the market as startups and they've done very well and they're still on the market. Delroy can tell you who those are. So what you have to have is a proper plan, organizational structure, because to list on the market, you have to have a governance structure in place. You have to have committees. You have to have independent board members on chairing these committees, like a compensation committee, or audit committee. And when I say independent board member, if it's you, your wife, your cousin, and your brother in the business, you have to bring in 2 or 3 independent people to chair some of your subcommittees, just to ensure that the decisions that are made in the best interest of the common shareholders, not just the business itself. Because in the stock exchange, we have a governance structure where our purpose really is to increase wealth, but also to protect the shareholders as much as possible. So you seek investment advice, seek legal advice, and you diversify your board so that your offerings are more diverse. Then you come to the market through a broker. The broker writes the story for you. You have to have a story. If you look at all the companies that come to market and have done well, they've come with a business plan and a prospectus, that big P word, prospectus. In the prospectus, you have the projections for how the business is going to grow. You have the history of the company. You have the entire story of what you're trying to sell to the public. The broker puts that whole together for you. So if the broker starts with you and carry you to this point, the broker is confident that this is an objective, a company that can do very well. So those are the things that you need. And certainly in the beginning, the DBJ lady was here last week, give her credit. You have credit enhancement facilities that can help to guide and improve the quality of your small business. You have grants that can assist you to write business plans, etc. When you have all of that together and you decide you start to develop a track record for your business now, then you have a story. You bring the story to the stockbroker. The stockbroker writes a business plan for you, helps you with a prospectus, and sells that story to the investing public, and you end up on the market as a listed company with capital that will help you grow over time, not overnight, although it does happen, as the lawyer pointed out, but it grows over time. Patient capital. So that's from the perspective of the issuer. Now the investor.
Welcome, Suzette.
Welcome, Suzette. So if the issuer is looking for patient capital, the investor must also be patient. So if you embark on a investment plan and you say you're going to put in $10,000 a month or whatever it is that you have as your objective, stick to the plan. Don't deviate from the plan. Markets will go up and markets will go down, but over the long term, you will outdo any other investment vehicle. Any 5-year period you take out in any organized market, the stock market is going to outperform every other asset class. And Delroy, I like the story about when I was at when I was an account executive at Barita back in the day. There's a young lady in 1994. Her name is Carla, and I invited her to join us on the chat. I don't know if you see her. Carla was about 20, a young, bright, intelligent youngster. Just wanted to find out about the market and how the market works. And I took the time and I sat with Carla, and Carla bring her little money and put in every now and then. And after a while, she got more regular, started buying equities regularly, what she could afford. And in those days, remember, I have to sign transfer form. So I had to sign transfer form, officiate the transfer to the shares to her. When Carla got her first dividend check, she was so elated. Carla now is a senior manager at a company in Newport West, and Carla has bought houses. Carla has bought cars. Carla has put her child through school. Carla has a small entrepreneurial venture running, all from being patient and just being consistent. This is 1994 to present. See, it don't happen overnight, but it does happen if you are patient and if you have take good advice and listen to good advice. So the story really is that be patient with the market, and the market will reward you.
But Andre, it's not a joke, you know. You see, I have dividends from Grace Supreme Meal Pack, right? And when the market hit, all of these stocks were at prices that person thinks they should buy. And I buy a little bit more of them. And I can say I am enjoying the dividends. See them there? I'm enjoying the dividends tonight. And on top of that, not one of these remain. Supreme Ventures was down at 13 something. They trade as high as $20, right? Grace, I think, was like $80. They trade up to $100, right? Meal Pack was close to $2. They trade up to $3 something, $3.90 something. So the market will really reward you if you have the patience in the market.
Right, that's it. Don't cut and paste. Don't fight the market. Don't chop and change. Don't fight the market. Remember, our friend Carl Lewin used to say that all the time. Don't fight the market.
Yeah. Welcome, William. Welcome, Xavier, Brian. Yeah, man, we're welcoming you because tonight Andre really going to leave us with, especially where the market going, because we look at the success of what persons are doing, and he spoke of one of his clients. And I will just say this now for the record. I actually took over from Andre at Barita. So it's a long time. It's a long time, my friend.
Long time, for true. But in terms of where we're going now, there are quite a few capital raises going on now. What is happening out there is that there is still a lot of capital, a lot of cash, basically, in Jamaica. Where is cash coming from? Institutional investors, pension funds, large institutional investors, high net worth individuals, companies, etc. who have been patiently waiting and who have been diversifying their fixed income portfolios now because they're getting near negative returns. And because if you're getting 3% or 2% on a fixed income investment now, and you take withholding tax out of that, you're really not making anything. The dividends alone in the stock market can reward you better than that. So there are investors out there looking for opportunities. So if you have a good opportunity, you see a good opportunity. A lot of them are a lot of entities now. All of last year, we have a active pipeline of about 20 companies that we're talking to at various stages of readiness to come to market. Some of them are not quite ready. Some of them are tidying up some issues. But what is happening now, a lot of them are in need of capital because of COVID. They need the capital. And banks will lend you to a certain point, but banks will also tell you that it's, after a certain point, you need long-term capital. So you need to look to a different alternative. So these companies are doing that, and we will see more listings. Separate and apart from that, the stock exchange group is diversifying its offerings as well to the market.
Well, Andre, before you go to the diverse, all right. So what happened is that there has been 2 listings on the market last week. One is the Cygnus Finance IPO and the APO of Barita. Now I have comments. I have 2 comments about Barita. Andre is in the capacity of the regulator tonight, right? So I would have to probably take any question that you have on Barita, right? So I'm going to let Andre finish the way forward, and then I come back to that particular question.
All right. I'm saying that what we're trying to do, thank you, Delroy, is diversify our offerings to the market. We are bringing something for everybody. You know that we have the Jamaica Stock Exchange as an e-campus. So we're not just talking about the growing the financial health, but also the knowledge base and the capacity of the players in the market. I mean, the Jamaican securities course is one of our more popular courses. There's a corporate governance courses that teach young businesses and young individuals how to govern in a proper way that would make your company and yourself more marketable to the public. We have alternative investments is another growing field. I mean, we're not talking about fixed income securities, but other type of securities that Cygnus is now famous for. There are strategies about how you manage and how you administer alternative investments. Jamaica Stock Exchange eCampus are offering all of those courses. You know that green, that is environmentally friendly investments, is another big global trend. Yes. The stock exchange has, in partnership with the Ministry of Climate Change, coming up now with a green bond platform, so that we'll be able to identify issuers, will identify projects that require green financing. Now that is like wastewater, environmental friendliness, renewable energy, etc. Anything that is green specific. You identify those projects on one side, and the investors on the other side, bring them together, list the bond on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. That whole new set of investors who only look for environmentally friendly investments will be attracted to a product like this. And you know, Delroy, that global projects and global funding is readily available for green projects. I challenge the local market to not make the first green bond listing on the Jamaica Stock Exchange next year come from overseas. A local issuer needs to pilot that, and I challenge the brokers to that. The other thing I want to challenge the brokers for, Delroy, very quickly, and
I say Miss Perfectionist for the very first time. So a special welcome to Money Matter Monday show. Kezam, I've seen you before. Yes.
And Suzette is online too, is my colleague at the Stock Exchange. Yes. What was I saying? The green bonds. Yes, you have to realize these are going to create opportunities. One thing I want to talk about, Delroy, is what I think we need in the capital markets now. And this is an opportunity for a broker to jump on. Okay. We need what you want to call an IPO incubator. We need an IPO incubator. You need some entity. JBDC does it to an extent that can take you from being a small business, help you to set your structure in place, help you to organize your balance sheet, to organize your strategic plan, etc., etc., and just graduate you along the business life until you are ready to come to market. Lend you some money along the way, etc. So that at the end of the day, we need one place, maybe one place in the Caribbean where you can go and identify these potential companies in an IPO incubator, and you carry them along the way and then carry them to market. I don't think we have that now. Some of the brokers will do a little small.
I hear you, but I think Mayberry would have fit closest to probably an IPO, because every junior market they had done most of them. So I think the idea of what you're saying, I think it's real. You need it. The closest to it would have been Mayberry with the new offerings for junior market. So I hear you.
Yeah, I think before that, I'm talking about before that. I mean, when a company is not yet ready to reach junior, a smaller company that is growing, take their arm and hold their hand and walk them through the stages of development and then carry them to the market. Don't, I mean, you know what I mean? So it creates an opportunity for small.
I will have a conversation. I will have a conversation with Dante. He's my friend. He was on this program before, so there might be an opportunity. And you're right. Hey, somebody needs to do it.
Yes, somebody design, and we'll all benefit from it. You'll create employment, you'll create capacity in the market, you'll create new investment alternatives and new investors, and the economy will grow generally. So you need an IPO incubator. Somebody needs to put together a school, quote unquote, if you want to call it that, where you take small businesses and turn them into medium businesses to the point where they are ready to seek capital in a public market.
Yeah, man. I will definitely make sure that is one of my first calls to done, because as I said, they are one at the closest model to it, but as they said, you want it before they get to that stage, before they reach junior stage. Just coming out and have a good vision and a good plan, because that's what they would need to have first. A good vision, and a good plan.
And at that early stage, there can't be a lot of fees either, so you have to be very accommodating in that regard as the business grows.
You don't want them to go more venture capital. You want them to go this route and that venture. I think I understand what you're saying. Okay. Well, I have to turn today. All right. So, guys, listen now. There has been talks about Barita in the press. The FSC has written to them, There is a APO that is out, and it is still very much out. It is not yet closed. Now, remember, you cannot buy every single stock on a stock exchange. Not even if you're running your own private fund. There is how many stocks on the market, Mr. Gooden?
Well, I don't have it off the top of my head. It's so many now.
It's so many. So
it's over 100.
It's over 100. So therefore, you have to sit down and you have to select the stock that you are buying and why you buying that particular stock. Don't buy a stock if you don't have a reason to buy it or know why you're buying it. Or let's consult your broker. Your broker will give you your licensed broker, not just any broker. You have to consult your licensed broker for them to walk you through. Say, why shouldn't I buy this one? Or what? How this one has performed over the long run? What is the inside, outside of it? Because buy something that you are comfortable with. Because some stocks are not even traded at the real value that the company gives. Some the market consider overpriced, some underpriced. Look at Grace. Grace was at some low price for the longest time. Now is that Grace finding its true footing? So many companies that were way ahead of Grace price. But look at Grace as a conglomerate. Look at where the price was. If you never had Grace at $50, you'd have been wasting time. Though Grace is at $100 really. And now people rushing to get it. So it is something that you have to be comfortable with when you talk to your broker, because you cannot own everything. And don't follow the hype, don't follow all the news. Do some work for yourself, figure out, do I want to keep this stock for the next 5 years? Or if this was the only stock on the market, would I buy it? Would I buy it as the entire business? You see, when you answer those things, you will know exactly what you want to do with that stock. Yeah.
Yeah, your portfolio must reflect your personality, right? Yeah.
Because look, see here, different companies, diversify, different dividends, Delroy.
Why those not going to a bank account, Delroy?
Because I said some already, but I had to show these tonight to say, guys, you cannot run from the market. You collect your dividends, you collect your capital appreciation. So tomorrow, this will be banking. Remember,
you shouldn't be taking a check, Delroy. Suppose to have the funds transferred electronically by the JSE through your directly to your bank account, so you don't have to burden us to write a check and give you every quarter.
Because I need to show the money matters fund. What buying stocks mean. All right, so come tomorrow, I'm going to convert all my checks to. So guys, remember, if you don't want me showing your check anymore, it's because I've gone electronic.
Yes, you get the dividend. The dividend is declared, you get the dividend on the business day or the next business day after the dividend is declared. You don't have to wait on the postman to bring a check to you. And then you have to deposit the check and wait for it to clear. You get rid of all of those problems.
Well, Jay,
take your dividends electronically.
All right. I can't let you leave without just saying something else, because you are giving some numbers on the J Trader Pro that they are trading. They're on a run to do over $8 million. How do you switch? How do you switch from check? You can repeat that, Andre, the person's question. How do you switch from checks to
if you go on the JSE website, go to the JSE, and it asks you, it says update your mandate. You fill out, you download the form, fill out a mandate. Just give us your JSE account number and your bank account details. Sign it and bring it to us. And then what we'll do is upgrade your records. And every time there's a dividend paid, the dividend will go straight to your bank account. Another thing we're going to be doing is that, and Suzette will kill me if I didn't mention this, is that we're upgrading our mobile app. We're upgrading our mobile app, which in due course, in stages we're doing it, which will eventually allow you to monitor your portfolio on your phone and post your trades, do your trades on a mobile app as well. The website is being also upgraded. And I told you about that already. That is for launch in early October. So you have more opportunities to manage your own portfolio and to basically create more efficiency in how you manage your account. So the dividend mandate saves you the trouble of having to track down dividends when you change your home address and the dividend was going to your work and you're all over the place, can't find it, and you have to call us to help you. And also for the checks to go astray and then the checks become stale dated and have to be updated and then redeposited. Just have an electronic mandate set up and have your dividends sent straight to your bank account.
So one of your takeaways is that persons need to convert to an electronic form of receiving their dividends.
That is so. That is correct.
Okay. There's a comment here, Dre, that you need to take, which is what does that mean to lumber? You don't do short selling. Any update on whether the market is going to go short selling shortly? Yes,
that is a project that started early last year and it is ongoing, and we expect that between this last quarter of this year, which is now approaching now, and the first quarter of next year, we will have a short selling platform, which will allow you to short selling.
All right. So, Sam,
any product you want, we either have it coming, have it already, or we're improving it.
You're speaking to the development manager at the JSE and its subsidiaries. So ask him the question and he's telling you he will have it for you. Nothing is digital asset platform coming as well. Can't say much about that. It's at a delicate stage, but that is in the pipeline as well. Data commercialization. We have 50 years of data at the stock exchange. People want access to that information all the time. We have a subscriber-based service at various levels at various price points, which will allow you to plug into our database and extract any information you want for any use, whether for educational purposes, research purposes, news purposes, or your own other means. So look out for that as well. All right. So really and truly, based on what Andre has told you tonight, the question remains, when you look at yourself, how is your portfolio performing? You now have to look with all that was mentioned here tonight. How is your portfolio performing? Are you receiving dividends? Do you need to look back at your portfolio and see if it is aligned with your goal? Because that is something that you have to do, you can rebalance it. Yeah, man. You take out something and you put in something, and you take out something and you put in something. Yeah, man. That's part and parcel of it. But you must not run or ride out of the market. Money Matters said that at the beginning of the pandemic. Don't ride out of the market. And we have shown you tonight, staying in the market, what has done for Money Matters. Dividends galore.
Use the market to raise money for your business. Use the market to raise money for your business. Cheapest source of patient capital.
Cheapest source. So that's another key takeaway. The cheapest source of key capital. Well, our 30 minutes, Money Matters Monday, come to an end. It's a good one. It's all the way up. All the way up. We're very happy to have you. We thank every one of you for your comments, questions. I hope, let me go back to welcome Shauna. Trying to find it back. Woodman's King is very to expect to stay solid for the long term. Well, remember, nobody can predict viabilities of companies, but you have to look at the numbers. Barita is over 30 years. It's not a newcomer. The company Barita and the name Barita is not a newcomer to the financial landscape of Jamaica. So you have to look and see, is it matching your appetite? Right? Remember, that's pretty much how you choose companies and stuff. Is it in line with my goals? Is it in line with my beliefs? That's pretty much it. Final words, Andre.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, sir. It's a wonderful program, wonderful source of information without the advertisement and all the other things coming in the way. And I wish you continued success with this program, and I know that you will support us as we continue to support you.
Well, and thank you. We are happy to have the stock exchange the second time around at Money Matters Monday.
And we don't talk about the television channel that is coming to the Jamaica Stock Exchange yet.
What?
The business channel. We'll talk about that next time, Delroy.
Well, in your development basket, it's full.
It's more than full, sir.
All right, we have to catch the development manager Andre Gooden and another time. The business development manager Andre Gooden another time, as he has a full basket to unleash on us. Well done, the stock exchange. Don't ride out of the market until you check your growth. Let me tell you, I might just go one final comment. Any consideration to change with the circuit breaker? All right, you can probably take that one and we definitely go.
That's a regulatory rule, but I mean that is subject to a regulatory change. If anyone has a proposal that they want to submit to change the regulatory rule, the circuit breaker rule, write to us, and we'll consider it, and we'll let you know what the decision is. Give us some time to look at it. What is it that you're proposing?
And some background.
Right.
This is how friendly our stock market, Jamaica stock market persons are. They never run from us. As regulators, we find them, we talk to them, because they have the best interest of the market. What TV chat? 30 minutes up. Money Matters Monday. You have to catch us another time. Wilma's.
That's my brother. It's all right. That's my brother. I can WhatsApp the information. We're launching a YouTube channel later this year.
All right.
Cable channel.
Welcome. All right, boss. Thank you all. See you another. Yes, we'll be hearing soon. Thanks, bud. Great, guys. Thanks for joining. Flip over if you are not yet a follower or subscriber to Money Matters on YouTube. Just flick over. Content are there as well. And this live will be saved and uploaded just for you. Thank you. Catch us Monday. Come for another Money Matters.